This is what narcissists really want when you're around. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you being here. Today's discussion revolves around the true desires of narcissists when you're in their presence. Take a moment to ponder that, folks. If you enjoy the content, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing. Now let's reflect on the past. When you were entangled with a narcissist, their primary objective was to keep you close, right by their side. Recall the flurry of affectionate emojis they'd send your way. Remember how they'd insist you drop everything to spend time with them, whether it was for lunch, a quick rendezvous, or just to check in? In those moments, it all seemed thrilling, like being on an emotional roller coaster or starring in your own movie. Yet, beneath the surface, you couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't quite right. Despite any misgivings, you'd found yourself drawn deeper into their web, perhaps even falling for them. But here's the catch. While you were growing more enamored, the narcissist's intentions were taking a darker turn. They wanted to solidify their grip on you, to ensnare you in a trauma bond, to test your boundaries, to gauge how easily they could manipulate you. Even early on, you likely noticed odd behaviors that didn't quite add up. Yet, blinded by excitement and infatuation, you ignored the warning signs, neglecting your instincts and intuition. Instead, you were about to plunge headfirst into the cycle of narcissistic abuse, unaware and unprepared. During this time, perhaps friends or family members expressed concerns about the pace of your relationship. They might have urged you to slow down, to reconsider your choices. But if someone had offered such advice back then, chances are you would have dismissed it. You might have reacted defensively, insisting that you knew what you were doing and that everything was under control. Or perhaps you would have brushed off their concerns as jealousy, convinced that they simply couldn't understand the joy you felt being in a relationship. However, during that period, you found yourself immersed in the love bomb euphoric stage, arguably the most gratifying phase of the relationship. Anything beyond that point was destined to unravel and disintegrate. Thus, even if someone had offered a cautionary word at the time, it's unlikely you would have heeded it. Moreover, many observers witnessed your behavior from a distance, noting your demeanor, speech, and adoration for the narcissist. They likely assumed you were deeply infatuated, content to let you revel in your newfound happiness. What those onlookers may not have realized is that, as you entered into the narcissistic relationship, the narcissist demanded your undivided attention. They expected you to abandon your plans, neglect your hobbies, forsake your friends, and prioritize them above all else. Whether it was a simple request to run an errand or a call to pick up their dry cleaning, you would comply without hesitation. Why? Because you were either falling in love or being ensnared, manipulated, and deceived. That was your role at the time. In the initial stages, the narcissist desired your constant presence by their side. As the relationship progressed, perhaps you moved in together, got engaged, ventured into business together, lent them money, or experienced other significant milestones like having children or relocating. It marked the transition from the love-bombing phase to the onset of devaluation. You began noticing subtle shifts in treatment, feeling less value than before. During this phase, the narcissist started to create distance, becoming less attentive during mornings, evenings, and weekends. The overflow of affectionate gestures like heart emojis and expressions of missing you dwindled because they believed they had solidified their hold over you during the initial stages of the relationship. This is the phase where the narcissist invests significant effort into shaping the relationship dynamics, albeit in an unhealthy manner, aiming to ensnare you in their manipulative web. Their goal is to make you emotionally dependent, eroding your sense of identity and autonomy until you're willing to comply with their every whim. It's common for the narcissist to demand your attention for trivial tasks, interrupting your daily routine even if you were occupied with work. At the time, you may not have realized that the narcissist was exploiting your dedication, manipulating you without concern for your well-being or genuine interests. During the devaluation stage, the narcissist desired to keep you at arm's length as they were already seeking out and ensnaring another source of supply. It's crucial to remember that this supply doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. Narcissists derive it from various sources like pets, clothes, jobs, friendships, hobby groups, romantic relationships, children, parents, neighbors, and colleagues. Essentially, they draw supply from almost anyone unless you equip yourself with the necessary tools and wisdom to go no contact, blocking and removing them along with all their associated flying monkeys and acquaintances. However, the focus here is on where the narcissist aimed to position you. As the devaluation stage progressed, the narcissists gradually distanced themselves from you. Paradoxically, the longer the relationship endured, the more you found yourself drawn to them. This is a natural inclination, driven by a subconscious desire to seek closeness despite sensing something amiss. The narcissist, devoid of empathy and incapable of genuine love, adeptly manipulated you into the trauma bond and the narcissistic fog. They excelled at this craft, skilled in the art of manipulation. You likely entered the relationship with the narcissist under the guise of their victim narrative, wherein they portrayed themselves as the unfortunate casualty of a past relationship. You may have felt compelled to rescue them, envisioning a fairy tale ending where you play the hero. However, reality didn't align with this romanticized notion. In truth, the narcissist likely distorted the facts regarding their previous relationships, painting themselves as the victim while demonizing their former partners. The toxic nature of the relationship wasn't inherent to their exes, but rather a reflection of the narcissist's own toxicity. This manipulation and distortion are integral to the narcissistic abusive cycle, perpetuating a pattern of deception and exploitation. Upon encountering the narcissist initially, you likely embodied strength, kindness, love, stability, and overall healthiness. However, you may have also exhibited traits of being a people pleaser or a yes person, lacking firm boundaries and struggling to assert the powerful word no. It's crucial to recognize that saying no to others often translates to saying yes to yourself, a concept you might not have fully grasped back then. Moreover, your boundaries, if they existed, proved porous as the narcissists skillfully manipulated their way past them, infiltrating your life and eroding those boundaries. What ensued was a gradual transformation orchestrated by the narcissist. They actively worked to reshape your identity, a process that intensified during the devaluation stage. Eventually, you reached a critical juncture where the narcissist deemed you no longer useful, akin to worn-out tires on a car. Your essence had been depleted, rendering you incapable of fulfilling their needs as effectively as when the relationship began. In their callous calculation, the narcissist decided it was time to discard you and move on to fresh supply, someone they had likely been grooming for some time. Much like replacing old tires with a new set, the narcissists sought to replenish their energy and maintain their facade of attractiveness. However, beneath their polished exterior lies a vacuous core, devoid of genuine substance. Despite their outward appearance, narcissists are fundamentally hollow individuals, characterized by cowardice and bullying tactics. However, at that juncture, the narcissist's desire shifted dramatically. Their aim? To distance you from them entirely. Thus, they discarded you. Whether you endured their discard or took the initiative to end the relationship yourself, my sympathy extends to you. The trajectory of the narcissist's behavior has come full circle. Initially, they craved your presence during the love-bombing phase. Subsequently, they withdrew during the devaluation stage. Now in the discard phase, they want nothing to do with you, recognizing your inability to meet their needs. Perhaps you glimpsed behind their facade, but your resources were dwindling, or they had extracted all they could from you. Alternatively, the allure of a new supply surpassed what you could provide. Upon being discarded, you likely experienced the stark realization: no one came to your aid, offering explanations or guidance. There was no comprehensive report detailing the narcissist's actions and the ensuing fallout, preparing you for the arduous healing process ahead. Instead, you found yourself grappling with the aftermath alone, forced to navigate uncharted territory. Eventually, you sought answers, leading you to embark on a quest for understanding. You scoured the internet, seeking solace in YouTube videos and online forums, until you stumbled upon resources on narcissistic abuse. The revelation was profound, shaking you to the core. How could you have been so unaware? Why was this not taught in school? How could someone who professed love callously discard you? These questions, though unsettling, underscore a painful truth. Now, what transpired here underscores a crucial point. As the thumbnail suggests, the narcissist sought to sever all ties with you. At this juncture, you likely found yourself grappling with profound challenges. Perhaps confronting childhood wounds, seeking solace through therapy, journaling, meditation, and delving into educational materials. Through this tumultuous journey, one of the most formidable obstacles you encountered was breaking the trauma bond. This endeavor is undeniably arduous, requiring significant time, introspection, and the courage to confront deep-seated wounds. I, too, navigated this daunting path, and if I could overcome it, so can you. However, it demands a relentless commitment to self-exploration and healing. It entails peeling back layers, revisiting childhood traumas, and realizing that the demise of the relationship was not your fault. You were ensnared by the allure of the narcissist's facade, manipulated by their exploitation of your hopes, dreams, and vulnerabilities. Understand that the narcissist's affection was merely a facade, a means to extract what they desired from you. Throughout the relationship, even during the euphoric stage, the narcissist reveled in the power they wielded over you. Their satisfaction was palpable, evident in the subtle smirk or the dilation of their pupils as they absorbed the adulation you showered upon them. These manipulative tactics served to reinforce their control, enabling them to exploit your resources while ensnaring you in the web of the trauma bond and the narcissistic fog. Yet, you stand resilient, fortified by knowledge and empowerment gained through your journey. You recognize that your well-being takes precedence over the narcissist's insatiable demands. Although they once sought your unwavering allegiance, you now understand the truth. Their affection was merely a facade designed to manipulate and exploit. Once they ensnared you, their interests waned significantly. Their focus shifted solely to extracting whatever they could from you, marking the onset of the devaluation stage. They no longer craved your presence as fervently as during the euphoric phase. Then comes the discard, a stark, unequivocal message that they want no part of you. However, the reasons behind this rejection are manifold. Perhaps you glimpse behind their carefully constructed facade, threatening their sense of control. Maybe your well-being suffered, rendering you unable to provide further narcissistic supply. Or perhaps you reached a point of profound brokenness and exhaustion, no longer meeting their insatiable demands. In contrast to your genuine commitment to a loving, stable relationship reflected in your vows, if you took them, the narcissists view these bonds as mere tools for exploitation. Each encounter with a narcissist ensnares you further in the trauma bond, perpetuating the toxic cycle detrimental to your mental and physical health. Now is the time to rip off the bandages, to embrace no contact, blocking, deleting, and removing them from your life. It's time to shield yourself from their influence, prioritizing your well-being above all else. Thank you for tuning in. If this message resonated with you, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing, and perhaps even becoming a channel member. Your support means the world.